If you observe more than you speak, you've probably been misunderstood your entire life. People may have called you quiet, reserved, too serious. Maybe they've assumed you're shy, awkward, or even uninterested. In a world that rewards loud voices and quick responses, silence is often mistaken for weakness. But psychology shows something very different. Observing more than you speak is not a flaw. It's a form of power. And if this is you, there are powerful traits quietly shaping your personality. Let's explore them. 1. You have heightened emotional intelligence. Research in psychology shows that strong observers tend to score higher in emotional awareness. When you speak less, you naturally listen more. And when you listen more, you pick up on subtle cues others miss: tone shifts, micro-expressions, changes in energy. While others are thinking about what to say next, you're reading the room. For example, you may notice when someone says, "I'm fine," but their posture and voice tell a different story. You sense tension before anyone names it. You feel when something is off. This isn't accidental. It's emotional intelligence in action. And while loud personalities may dominate conversations, you quietly understand people on a deeper level. That depth builds trust. People often feel safe around you, even if they don't fully understand why. Your silence creates space for others to be seen. 2. You think before you react. Psychology indicates that people who pause before speaking tend to have stronger impulse control. Instead of reacting emotionally in the moment, you process first. In arguments, you don't immediately explode. In discussions, you don't blurt out the first thought that comes to mind. You filter, you reflect. This doesn't mean you don't have strong opinions. It means your opinions are considered. While others may regret what they say in the heat of the moment, you rarely do. Your words carry weight because they are chosen carefully. Think about how often people say, "I wish I hadn't said that." You probably don't say that very often. Your quiet nature protects your relationships. It protects your reputation. It protects your peace. And in a world full of noise, the ability to pause is a rare strength. 3. You see patterns others miss. Research on observational learning shows that careful watchers absorb information deeply. When you observe more than you speak, you collect data about people, behaviors, dynamics. You notice who interrupts others, who avoids eye contact, who changes their personality depending on the group, who consistently shows up, who doesn't. Over time, you start seeing patterns. Maybe you can predict how a conversation will unfold before it even happens. Maybe you sense when someone isn't being genuine. Maybe you understand social hierarchies without anyone explaining them. This pattern recognition gives you quiet, strategic awareness. You may not always voice your insights immediately, but when you do speak, people often say, "That's exactly right." Your strength isn't in constant talking, it's in accurate understanding. 4. You're comfortable with depth. Many conversations stay on the surface: small talk, quick jokes, safe topics. But if you observe more than you speak, chances are you crave something deeper. Psychology suggests that more reflective personalities are naturally drawn to meaningful connections rather than constant stimulation. You don't need to fill silence just to feel comfortable. In fact, you may find silence peaceful. You prefer listening to someone's story instead of competing for attention. You ask thoughtful questions. You remember details others forget. Because you're not focused on performing socially, you connect authentically. This is why when you do build relationships, they tend to be deep and lasting. You may not have the biggest social circle, but the connections you do have are real. And that's not social weakness, that's emotional maturity. 5. You have strong inner awareness. When you speak less outwardly, your inner world often becomes richer. Research indicates that reflective individuals engage more in internal processing, thinking through ideas, analyzing experiences, replaying interactions to understand them better. This can sometimes feel like overthinking, but it's also self-awareness. You question your own motives. You reflect on your growth. You notice when you've changed. You're aware of your strengths and your flaws. This internal dialogue builds wisdom over time. While others may avoid looking inward, you naturally do it. And self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth. You don't just move through life, you examine it. And that quiet self-examination shapes a strong, grounded identity. If you observe more than you speak, it doesn't mean you lack confidence. It means you value substance over noise. It means you process before reacting. It means you understand people deeply. It means your words are intentional. And here's something important. The world needs observers. Leaders need advisors who can read the room. Friendships need listeners who truly hear. Families need the calm presence of someone who doesn't escalate every conflict. You may not be the loudest voice in the room, but you are often the most aware. So instead of trying to become louder just to fit in, recognize the strength you already carry. Your quietness is not emptiness, it's depth. Your silence is not weakness, it's discernment. And when you do choose to speak, people listen, because they know your words matter. If this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on how your observational nature has protected you, guided you, and strengthened you. And if you want more insights about hidden personality strengths and the psychology behind who you are, subscribe to the channel. Because sometimes the most powerful traits are the ones the world misunderstands the most, and you deserve to understand yours.